Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Thursday, March 23rd.
We have a small group of liberal, socialist, communist people out there that don't want anything to do with God. And that's been part of the problem here in our country lately.
That's Palm Coast Vice Mayor Ed Danko telling WNZF what he thinks of those in the community who oppose his proposal to start city council meetings with prayer.
We are going downhill because we've lost our faith. We no longer pray to God. And we've allowed these liberals to basically, try to silence us and silence our belief. They say that this country wasn't found on religion, wasn't found on God. Well, they're wrong.
Opponents of the proposed invocation policy spoke out against it at this week's council meeting. Rabbi Merrill Shapiro opened public comment.
And I urged members of the council to spend the half hour before each meeting in the back room on their knees seeking guidance from their respective understanding of God, but not to bring it into the public meeting. It is, after all, divisive. We are sufficiently divided. We don't need to be divided by religious belief and non-religious belief as well.
Public comment continued.
My question is why? Why all of a sudden does this council need to pray out loud? Is there something you're not doing or you're not doing well that prayer here in a public house, the house of the public, will help you make better decisions? If you're making bad decisions, tell us now. We're not sure that prayer is going to help you make those decisions.
I suggest that prayer is inappropriate here. It's the wrong venue.
I'm encouraging you to stay with this moment of silence. Right now, the country is divided. We need something that unifies this country, and it starts at the grassroots level.
Council will vote on the invocation proposal at its meeting on April 4th. Vice Mayor Ed Danko urges supporters of his proposal to be at that meeting.
If you believe in God, if you believe this is the right thing to do, please come out and make your voice heard at City Hall. I need your support to convince the rest of council that we need to do this, and we do need to do this.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
I have very high expectations for the C-suite, for leaders. I see the superintendent role as a CEO position.
Flagler County School Board member Sally Hunt defends her decision to conduct her own search for a possible replacement for Superintendent Kathy Middlestat. Her search comes as the board prepares to conduct evaluations to decide whether to extend Middlestat's contract.
There's been a lot of chat about my speaking with Paul Peacock. I've talked with a lot of people. I've spent hours with a lot of people, community leaders, staff, district level leaders. I've talked with a lot of people. And so to kind of have this idea that I'm just, speaking with one principal at one school is really just disappointing. I've been criticized that I'm not sharing, it's like I'm hiding something, or I'm not sharing my thoughts on the current superintendent. And so it's a little bit bizarro land for me because it's like I'm being criticized for not sharing, but I'm pleading with my fellow board members, specifically the chair and vice chair, please let's get this on the agenda. Let's talk about it.
Middlestat's 3-year contract expires at the end of June. 9 people are kicked out of a suspected Palm Coast drug house.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says they responded multiple times to the Black Hawk Road home for quality of life issues.
Working with the homeowner who does not live there and civil laws in the state of Florida, we trespassed all 9 occupants and forced them to vacate immediately. If they ever return to the property, in the house or on the land around it, we will arrest them for trespassing. Multiple neighbors came out to thank us for taking action at this house.
Staley says most of the transients have been arrested multiple times.
In fact, most of them had warrants and are fugitives from other states, but the other states refuse to come and get them. They only want them back if they're in their state. So I understand that, but that doesn't help us solve the problem. So we use other laws that are available to us, from criminal laws to civil laws, to try to clean up the neighborhood and return a quality of life back to the law-abiding citizens and residents that live on Black Hawk.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.